So let's start to provision a few Kubernetes cluster. So let's create a cluster. So basically there are two types of cluster available. That is, first is a standard and the second is a free. So let's start to provision a free cluster here. So as you can see, there is a one stable version available from IBM which we can provision. Let's import the free cluster name. Okay, the space is not allowed here. Let's put a dot here. So as you can see, there is a one worker node available with a 2 virtual CPU and a 4 GB RAM. Let's create the cluster. Okay, now as you can see, the cluster is preparing. There are various actions available. And how the CLI is communicating with the clusters. For that, you need IBM Cloud CLI. So that command line options are available to communicate with the cluster over kubectl. So as you can see here, the cluster will expire in 30 days. So once the 30 days are complete, the life gets over of this cluster and all the data will be wiped out. So if you want to reuse the cluster, you need to recreate the cluster. Let's wait for some time. Once the cluster is come, so as you can see, it is start provisioning a master. So basically this cluster provisioning take around 10 to 15 minutes. Now its cluster is up and it's 100% normal and the node health is also green. Now access this cluster. So let's log in into a Kubernetes cluster. So now we are into a Kubernetes cluster. Let's connect using kubectl CLI. So we have a one node plus free Kubernetes cluster. Let's create a deployment. Let's check the pod status. Now the pod status is running. Let's check. Let's do a kubepod forward to see this Nginx web page. So restart handling a connection. Let's see the status. So you can see the Nginx page here. So this is how you can use the free Kubernetes cluster in IBM. Thanks for watching. As we have provisioned a free Kubernetes cluster, it has some limitations. So first limitation is we cannot scale our cluster. It is only available with a single node per zone, and there is no scope to change the region or to provide the region. The second limitation is it is provisioned with the most stable version provided by IBM. We cannot provision a cluster with specific version. The third limitation is we can only provision a single free cluster per account. And the fourth limitation is the life of cluster is 30 days. If you want to reuse the cluster, then you have to recreate the free cluster again.